Ms. Christiane Walker, Operations Manager, Office of the Principal, University of the West Indies, the Honorable Mayor Amor Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, Honorable Kay McConney, Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, His Excellency Yan Shusheng, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Sir Paul Altman, Chairman, Campus Council, Cave Hill, Professor R. Clive Landis, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal, University of the West Indies, Mrs. Vanessa Edgell and members of the Edgell family, Senator Dr. Charleston Braffett, Project Consultant, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Professor Winston Moore, Principal, University of West Indies, other distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. It is indeed a pleasure for me to stand here and address you at this groundbreaking ceremony. And this is significant for us because this is an occasion when we see how effective partnerships can come together with government and academia. In this regard, I wish to sincerely thank all the stakeholders in this project, namely the Edgell family, for their kind donation of the 28 acres of land here at Jukes, to the Chinese government for graciously agreeing to fund the construction, to the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus, for the development vision led by its former principals, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, and the most honorable Eugene Barreto. I'm also equally happy for the work that is being continued by Professor Landis. I also must state that it is indeed very heartening and encouraging to see that we at the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Security, and indeed the government of Barbados, have continued to play its part in making sure that this project is a success. The concept of academic parks is nothing new, but to have one completely dedicated to agriculture is somewhat special for me. You may ask, why is this so? Well, historically, agriculture was seen as the area of activity associated with hard work, minimum pay, and particularly for persons who fell outside the proverbial academic mainstream. The perspectives was no doubt motivated by the stigma linked to the plantation experience of our forefathers, coupled with the less than exciting ways to which the subject matter was presented in our schools. Today, that has drastically changed, partly as a result of rapid technological advancement in the sector, heightened awareness about health, food, and nutrition security, a repackaging of agriculture with traditionally more exciting areas of endeavor, such as tourism and energy, and greater levels of public and private investment. In the just concluded estimates and expenditure, the Ministry of Agriculture is receiving for the financial year 2023-2024 $81 million to execute its programs. I may add at this juncture that this is the estimates for the financial year, but when all told, the financing that has been given to agriculture over the past 4 or 5 years will exceed $100 million annually. That in itself represents the seriousness in which this government places in developing agriculture in Barbados. These programs include a rapid expansion of domestic agriculture output in line with Barbados's national food security objectives, the CARICOM 25 by 2025 target for expenditure and imported primary agriculture projects from extra-regional sources. Plans are also in train for the construction of a new tissue culture lab to ramp up the production of clean planting material for local farmers, serve as a repository for germplasm, and to facilitate research about new varieties of crops. Very soon, we should be attending another groundbreaking ceremony This time, it will be at Lears in St. Michael, where the Barbados-Guyana Food Terminal will be constructed. The food terminal will serve as a hub and spoke arrangement where agricultural produce from local farmers and across CARICOM will pass through this facility prior to being prepared for transshipment to their final destination locally, regionally, and globally. The food terminal will offer cold storage, packaging, and basic food processing services to all users. Water is basically a heavy and very important part of agriculture activity. Whether crop production or animal rearing, water is very important. My ministry will continue this water augmentation program, which already produced irrigation access to hundreds of farmers at River Plantation in St. Philip and at Bordens in St. Andrew. The 4 million gallon reservoir at Haggart St. Andrew will supply water to the orchard development activities in that area, while the 21 million pond at Lears in St. Michael should prove to be an invaluable asset to both crop and livestock farmers involved in that land lease initiative. The ponds at Lears and River will also be used for farming prawns and shrimp and fresh fish. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2023 will be an exciting year for agriculture in Barbados. In fact, it will also be a defining period as well. The sector continues to grapple with the plethora of challenges posed by climate change, such as prolonged droughts and intensive wet periods. It is imperative that we quickly embrace the technologies available to ensure we maintain or even surpass existing production levels, while simultaneously mitigate the negative consequences associated with unpredictable weather patterns. Research and tolerable varieties of plants, evolution of new types of pests, pesticides, fertilizers, and agronomic best practices, and how best to control the destructive and apparently increasing situation with pests and indeed diseases, the sector must now move forward and be on time in its approach to dealing with these issues. This groundbreaking ceremony, therefore, represents a seminal moment in this country's story on agriculture. The ministry looks forward to continuing its close collaboration with the University of the West Indies and the Ministry of Education, Technological, and Vocational Training in developing relevant research content and delivering the necessary training to advance the sector. The work will also be vital to sound policymaking, as the effectiveness of public policy is dependent on the quality of data and information that informs the policy position. The ministry recognizes that much of the future success of local farmers will depend on the quality of the technical assistance they receive through the extension services provided by the ministry. Improved quality of extension services is high on the ministry's transformation agenda and will be best nurtured through research. The livestock industry in Barbados needs significant impetus if it is to only reach its full potential. This can be achieved, or at least supported, by careful and sound research focused on breeding techniques, animal genetics, and forage quality. Initiatives by government include the expansion of our stock of black belly sheep with the assistance of Guyana, which has the requisite land space and water resources, increasing beef and pork production, the provision of professional training for local butchers by a master butcher from the United Kingdom, and plans to construct a modern abattoir to replace the Southern Meats facility. Another major initiative of government is the promotion of agro-processing activities through the Barbados Agricultural Development and Marketing Corporation. Not only does it address the concerns associated with excessive post-harvest waste of agricultural produce, but provides an avenue to the creation of value-added products through the innovation, market research, and entrepreneurship. Other new areas of endeavor stand to benefit substantially from this research park. Only last week, we discussed with Professor Landis and his team the potential for research and innovation in biofuels and biomass, which will be pivotal to the transformation of our sugar industry, for example. Similarly, there will be opportunities for research associated with medicinal cannabis and its extracts, quality control, and wellness products. The opportunities are too numerous to discuss here. If there was one lesson we all learned from the repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing war in Russia and Ukraine, is the urgent need for Barbados to achieve food and nutrition and security and food sovereignty. Becoming self-sufficient in the production of most of the primary agricultural food we eat is not an unachievable task. In some respects, we will simply be returning to a state of affairs that exited decades ago when we grew much of what is now being imported. To achieve this will require a concerted and deliberate effort by government and the private sector, including the general public. I see this project as providing fundamental support on which goals can be achieved. Again, I look forward to playing my part, both as a citizen and as a person trusted with the responsibility within Cabinet for agriculture, food, and nutrition security. I'm obliged to you. Thank you.